day, Ruskin joyous. I felt motivated to start yapping about skins in general. Of course, we are now past the Easter dip, for sure. I'm sure it's in prices in general for Ruskins at the moment. But to my surprise, they're kind of rising up a little bit more than expected. If you are fully well aware, post-Christmas is usually the best time to sell your skins. But you've got to wait until the end of the year, January time. Well, the second best time, and sometimes even the better time, is the summer peaks. Now, that usually happens between July and August. During that period of time, we see a lot of people, well, kids, students, out of school, playing Rust. When there's more people playing, there's more demand for skins, prices are better. It's not too hard to comprehend. So, to my surprise, I am seeing a lot of skins in general kind of already matching up to the prices we saw this past post-Christmas, this past January 2026. So I'm compelled to sit here and talk about this surprise summer rise. Technically, it's not the summer here, and of course, there's different seasons around the world, I understand, but come on now. I will refer to July and August as summer peaks, and, well, you've got to be prepared for this because you might be able to sell your skins for a much better price, but we could still have potential problems, because based on what we saw last year, for some strange reason, we did have a dip during June 2025. So I'll talk about that as well. Anyway, let's just quickly talk about the Rust doll we have right here in front of us. Hedge decided to stay up and do some barders for some brand new music kits in Counter-Strike. So he might have been up a little bit too late. And yes, he unfortunately overslept and wasn't around for the first 24 hours of sales. I could only get the first 23 hours of sales. And yet still, it's pretty easy to deduce that the Pirate Electric Furnace very likely will do over 30,000 subscribers. And yet, to our surprise, Heat Seeker Pump Shotgun very likely could be the first ever Heat Seeker skin that fails to reach 10,000 subscribers. We saw this and we were sitting there and saying, it's Heat Seeker Summer all over again. Yay! Well, you know what? That collection is actually doing very nicely at the moment right now. And we can only assume it's going to do very good again around July and August again, much like we saw last year. So, all right, we'll talk more about that in a bit. But yes, I'm sure you've seen the recent skins. Are you aware of what happened recently when we did the barders with the previous week? Have you noticed the changes on the Steam market? So, yeah, the brand new Steam market beta has gone through. It's a bit problematic, but we are expecting it to improve as time goes on. If you aren't fully well aware, when you go ahead and try and barter a skin at the moment, so let's just say, hey, I'm going to look at this Demonic Raven door. Let's just pretend we're looking at it there. Unfortunately, apparently, like, you know, when you do like a barter, and you might sit there and say, I'm going to offer $1.5. Yeah, that's the example. A lot of us accidentally press the comma instead of the dot, the full stop, right? The decimal point. Apparently, if you barter in the brand new beta version, it doesn't understand or recognize the comma. It doesn't treat it as a dot, doesn't treat it as a decimal point. Someone accidentally offered €9 instead of 90-cent euro for a brand new skin from the previous week. So he accidentally spent about $10 each on a skin that wasn't worth $10 each. No. Oh boy. So hopefully things improve. But just to get the point across, this brand new update doesn't really affect Rust skins at all. It's primarily a thing for like Counter-Strike, Dota, all the games that have skins with extra qualities to them or whatnot. This is this grade. This is this float. Blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. Rust skins don't have that. They're all commodities. So they're all the same, basically. So, I mean, it looks nice. And I am quite pleased to see that you can actually see the dates now when you hover over and look at the previous sales from the past and the sales data. But aside from that, it's nothing really new. And don't forget, if you don't like it, look to the top right, exit market beta. Boom, done, easy. Now, we'll send you back to the main page here. But if you could just go back, refresh, and there you go, remember. Now, speaking of, did you notice how much funds I had in my account recently? It wasn't looking very pretty. So I'm sure you're fully well aware, I'm also invested into Sandbox, and whilst in anticipation to Sandbox, things were looking pretty sweet. After Sandbox has come out, we've had quite a lot of people get really scared, and they've started dumping. So I got dumped on it, and at one point, things weren't looking very good. But you might have noticed, hang on a minute, Hedge, you're selling Rust skins right now? Yeah. I wanted to dip my toe and just see how easy it was to sell skins right now. It's easy. It's easy. So now I'm going to talk about some very interesting things that have been happening in general before we actually happen to have like the summertime, because right now I'm still led to believe across the world kids are still in school, students, they're having their exams. Oh no, it's a horrible time. But it's not like the summertime where kids are out of school and they could be playing lots of Rust just yet. But we have to respect that the player counts as of recent have been very good. Last year's April 2025, it went below 100,000. Oh no, what a shame. But, you know, April this year was better. And, well, of course, last year's March was better compared to this year's March. But at the current, as of now, it looks as if we might actually have a full year where we do not go below 100,000 average player count. Technically speaking, we are still seeing growth for Rust. And of course, if we do see some interesting things being added in the future, well, I'm sure that'll keep people happy, enthusiastic, motivated. Speaking of new things, have you seen your brand new models? Yeah, your character models. To be honest with you, I don't hate mine. It's just basically the same thing, but just a different skin tone. Could I just quickly show you Shadow Warriors? He looks absolutely miserable. 3 days into a wipe and you're still being door camped. It's good though, that's funny. So anyway, hopping back over to here. We're still expecting the Game Pass. We don't know what that is, do we? And I'm still contemplating, well, you know, character customization and whatnot. Do you reckon they might put that behind the Game Pass? Do you reckon that might be a thing? Like when you have the Game Pass, you have unlimited amounts of. Like you can change your character whenever you want. Maybe like once a month you could change your character by default. But if you have the Game Pass, maybe you could do it multiple times. Maybe that's a thing. We don't know. So everything's just theoretical and fantasy at the moment in regards to the Game Pass. But the Game Pass is expected later this year. And as we go through the next few months, we're going to start finding out what it's going to consist of. So some things to be aware of later on, especially as we go through like the summer period. And again, seasons are different around the world. I apologise, but I'm just basically referencing around like July and August time. So let's also just point out last year, July, August, it wasn't an insane jump in player count, but during this period of time last year, old prices improved greatly. Okay, prices were fantastic, an amazing time to sell, but then inevitably we had the autumn fall seasonal dip. Okay, be aware. Last year, during October 2025, it was awful. Prices dropped down. They dropped down bad. They dropped down bad. But then after that, post-Christmas, as we went through December into January 2026, it was actually really, really good. And of course, February did even better. But then again, February had the Naval update. So lots of people turned up for a reason. So, okay, cool. As of now, this year, it's been quite all right. But the Easter dip, it was literally just March. So let's start doing, let's start showing some examples of some things that we saw. So unfortunately, right, we saw a lot of skins go down in price. It was expected. We knew it was going to happen, but it only happened in March and not during April. And we started seeing prices rising as early as like the first week of April. So you know what? Let's go ahead and start looking at some Heat Seeker skins because I feel like that's where it's easy to notice. A great example would be the MP5. Let's go ahead and do that. As you are fully well aware, this MP5 is a very pay-to-win aim sight skin. It also sold a ridiculous amount. So, you know, when times are good, we don't see as many listings, people buying it, it's doing better. But when times are bad, there's a lot of people selling, like a lot more people selling rather than buying. But right now, that's back up to the price it sold for around January time. It's May. What? So, hang on a minute. No. Correction, I think we're doing better now. This is a straggler. Remove those two listings. It's now over $4. What? Do you remember around, what was it, February time, that was it. We got those Twitch drops. Ledoux, and we also got, we got two MP5 Twitch drops that had incredibly insane transparent aim sights. And, oh boy, it didn't enjoy that, did it? No. It doesn't care anymore. Do you see what we're experiencing right now? So let's just quickly go from like October through post-Christmas to now. So October time, this MP5 drops off real bad. But then we go through post-Christmas, it rises up very nicely. But then we hit March and it goes down. But the second we reach like the end of March, it just goes up. It just improves. And again, this is a great example to like just get a good look and get like a good scope of the health of the economy with the Rust skins at the moment, because there's tons of these available, but there's always a demand for it because it's got the very good aim sight. So, you're now at an all-time peak price. You know what? I reckon we need to start talking about the Revolver as well. So, I'm sure a lot of you have been appreciating the Heat Seeker Revolver, and you probably appreciated it when it was a lot more affordable when we saw the other revolvers appear. So, let's just quickly remind you what happened. I went on a bit of a side tangent recently in my Rust rotation video, in my predictions video, talked about this, but the recent revolvers we have seen that were accepted, they are doing good. They are doing really good. And let's just give you a quick rundown. Revolvers are always appreciated, they always get usage, and we don't see that many of them being accepted anymore. On average, we'll probably see it at best like 3 a year. So right now we've only had one. Chances are we might see another one at some point soon enough. And, well, we started seeing transparent aim sights. So over here, Heat Seeker Revolver, it comes out. It doesn't sell too ridiculously, especially in comparison with the rest of the Heat Seeker collection. And, well, as you might notice, this was pushing all the way up to $10. Now, it seems other people have noticed and started to sell as well, but I don't think they're stopping now. But as you might notice, yes, that ended up going up even higher compared to where it was before. Why does it go down in price so sharply here? Olympus Revolver appeared. Oh, and that had more transparency. But you know what? We saw something very similar happen when the old Pirate Revolver appeared back in February. So let's just quickly point out and sit here and say, yep, it's just slightly below $6. But then again, that's one straggler. Technically speaking, it's $6.50. As you'll notice as well, this is also at its all-time peak price. Why did that go down in price? February, old Pirate Revolver appeared. Okay, fair enough then. So that was in its stride. That was doing great. But then, it kind of meanders for a bit, doesn't do much. Oh, now it's only gone up in price even higher. So, yeah, no, that's also looking very good. And let me just point out, only 57 listings, very thin, no big fat stacks of quantity, no resistance. I wouldn't be surprised that potentially goes up even higher as well. Ooh. And then, of course, we had the newest one, Old Pirate Revolver. Now, like a good month and a half ago, it wasn't that long ago, as we're going through March, let's just say that. At one point, I saw over 300 listings on this skin. And I was disappointed. I put it partly to blame on the fact that we kept seeing more and more transparent aim sight revolvers being posted. I saw Blackout, I saw Fish, I saw some very interesting skins. And if they were accepted, of course, you've already seen what happens. You've already seen what happens when competition appears. So I guess maybe initially a lot of people were worried about what could happen next, but that didn't happen. And I do remember there's like an 84 quantity stack. An 84 quantity stack right there at the very... it was like barely over $3. And I sat here and said, yeah, let's just wait it out. I'm sure we'll probably evade all those potential brand new acceptances and whatnot for new revolvers. I reckon that still has a nice future ahead of it. Yeah, like a month or so later, oh boy, it's now pushing up to $5. So yeah, look, it's so thin. It's so thin. There's no big fat resistance anymore. If this keeps the momentum, this very likely could keep going all the way up to $7 and beyond. I mean, we just looked at the Heat Seeker Revolver. Yeah, honestly, all of them could potentially go all the way up to $10. I don't know where this stops, but it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. So anyway, I have noticed that they have all been improving. It's very nice. But wow, I don't normally see this happen until like July, August. And I felt the need to make a fuss about this because what's going on? Why is everybody suddenly jumping in and just buying everything? So let me also go ahead and start yapping about another interesting skin. Do you remember at the very beginning of this year, we had some interesting HellCore weapon skins being accepted? So initially it started off with the AK, where is it? There it is, yep. And then the week after that, we also saw a SAR, a HellCore SAR. why am I making such a fuss about this? Because this also has a transparent aim sight, much like the Seeker SAR. Oh. And, you know, we have seen Twitch drops and all that, and I certainly thought that maybe this collection could improve even better. It's doing all right. It's holding up. It's doing okay. But how's that Seeker SAR doing right now? I can't confirm to you. It's just under $7. But this right here, the competition, the newest option, it's already $6. And I actually put a tweet about this not too long ago. Like, must have been just about a month ago. I remember I was sitting here recording that transparent wooden door video. Anyway, 73 listings. Barter's improving. No big fat ridiculous quantity walls there. What? So that just turned out to be a fantastic investment. And look at sales history. Like it just keeps going up and up and up and up and oh. So I don't know where this is going to stop at. In theory, I imagine it's just going to keep on going. But I do have to warn you about what happened last year. So I might have to hop back now and reference the Seeker MP5. So let's go ahead and do just that. But last year, whilst we were seeing a very good initial start to June, so let's just quickly remind you, back in May 2025, we had the Jungle Update release. And then June, it didn't really have that much, but it had like some tweaks, some changes. Let's fix this in the jungle, fix that in the jungle. We still had a decent turnout. Initially, lots of people jumped in, prices improved, and then it just went bad. It just went bad, and prices dropped. And to this day, I still do not have an answer for why that happened. And to my surprise, SMM does this to me right here, right now. So let's just go to Rust Help instead. Heat Seeker. Let's go ahead and take a look at this MP5 once more. So let's just go to the Steam Market page. Here we are. Thank you, SMM. But look at the period of time as it goes through June. So this came out May 2025. It did sell a lot. It was pretty ridiculous. Oh boy, oh wow. But then immediately afterwards in July, it's just up. It's just up. Like, if we didn't have this dip, I would be surprised if it just kind of was like that and then it goes up a little bit more. Maybe it could have gone up even higher. But yes, July, August, I'm not joking. During this period of time is where we tend to see most skins peak around the summertime, okay? Summer peaks. I don't have a ton of examples to look at, but then again, you could probably go ahead and look at Whiteout. And you know what? We should have been looking at Whiteout a long time now. So let's go over to here. Rust Steam Market. They're always on the front page. They're always in the front page. Let's go ahead and take a look. So right now, what price are you currently selling for? Let's give this a good look. So over to here, you're currently priced at around $25. What price did you sell for back in January time? Well, we're not too far off, but yeah. Again, it was only March. Only March. What about last year? Can I just get a quick look at last year? Can I get a good look around June time? Look, it's right here. So we reach June, and it drops off a fair bit, but then it rises back up again. I have no good answer other than one potential idea. Perhaps initially for June, things were just too good too suddenly. And maybe people like, well, I can't really afford that price now. I can't buy that. Like, technically speaking, we kind of saw it a second ago with the Revolver, the Heat Seeker Revolver. You might have noticed it's looking like it's starting to curve downwards a little bit. Perhaps it has reached a point where it's like, it probably can't go that much higher, right? So, yeah, at some point it's going to become a little bit too expensive for most people, and then people look at other options available, wouldn't they? So just look at that. It does look as if it's starting to go down again. But, you know, once those students and those kids are finished with school, finished with their exams, when they start playing again, when we see the player count boost back up again, don't you think that might go back up on again as well? Like maybe it dips a little bit during June again. I don't know. We'll see. I am expecting that to be an even higher price around July and August. So sorry for meandering there, but you understand what I'm saying. Maybe it's reached a point where it's like, they're too ridiculous right now. Maybe I'll just wait it out a little bit longer. Or again, maybe people look for other option. They do have the other two revolvers, such as Olympus and Old Pirate Revolver, for example. So yeah, all right, cool. Just want to get that idea across. But what else is there, Hedge? What else could we yap about and talk about? Well, honestly, just start looking at your inventories. I was looking around, I was keeping track of things, and wow. Like, of course I am expecting the mummy wraps to start rising up in price very nicely. They always tend to peak around, well, July and August. I will sit here and tell you, every single year, they always get brought back at the same price for Halloween. And, well, the next summer, or rather the next July and August time, they always they always rise up and reach a nice peak price of around $11 to $12. Right now, this is currently sitting here at just under 10 at the moment, so that's been doing good. And I always yap about this. I always bring it up. Well, there's your example. There's your showcase. That has been doing nice. And I certainly hope it gets even better. Here's hoping those player models don't get in time. Yeah, a lot of people are like, maybe I don't need to buy mummy wraps anymore and whatnot. My super pale man, well, is now a woman or something. So yes, get a good look at that. It's improving, but yeah, look at that. August, that's where it peaks, and that's what we had to be prepared for. So if people do have their characters changing skin pigment and whatnot, maybe the demand for it will be different. Or then again, maybe people end up with a super pale ghost-like player. We'll see. So yes, there are advantages for certain pigments. We have talked about this before when I showcased like various different camouflage skins in the jungle. I did that all last year. But wow, look at this Thompson as well. HellCore Thompson, it came out like 2 months ago, and it's now the third highest priced Thompson skin we currently have in the game. It does have transparency, but Thompsons in general, they can only have so much transparency, can't they? And it's never like super pay-to-win, helpful sort of transparency. But the fact that this just kept going up in price higher and higher and higher, it's over $10. Well, I thought it was just under. No, it's actually over $10 now. I just keep seeing things rise up higher and higher and higher, but much like what I just said in regards to the Heat Seeker Revolver, do you see it starting to cool off again? Starting to stagnate. So yes, heavily manipulated. What are you talking about, sir? What skin in particular are you referencing? Sorry, I've been focusing this so much. Bet that dude just sold 80 is punch in the air. Well, Bets Parker, in regards to the old pirate Revolver with the guy that listed it over 80, I'm always under the impression that there's some people out there that are trying to scare others into selling to the highest buy order. I'm going to unload all of this because remember, by default, this is what the usual person sees. I have extensions so I can see some more, but the average person only sees this. So you know what? Let's go ahead and showcase to you a manipulation. Are you aware of this skin over to here? This is the demonic pistol. Now let's just refresh so we can see what the average person sees. All right, cool. So the average person will look at this demonic pistol and they'll see listings of $620, $645, $668, $691, and $715. Now, if I look over to the right, oh wow, we've got buy orders of 578, 557, 536, 515, 493. You're going to probably look at that and think, well, surely it's worth that price, right? Like I said, I have extensions that help me see a little bit more, notably Steam Inventory Helper. Why does it randomly drop off so much so quick? Look, let me just zoom in. Why does it suddenly drop off? Huh. Let's go look at sales history. Maybe that might help us out. And then you see this and you're like, what? What's going on here? Why does it randomly just go up? Manipulators. If you were to look at this around September 2025 time, yes, this was selling for around $60. But why is it suddenly 10 times the price? Well, there's a bit of a weird story with this skin in particular, so I'll just quickly go through the details there. This skin was never supposed to be available. It was never in a rust door. How does that work? If I can recall, this was actually supposed to be a Halloween 2017 skin. So Halloween 2017, this was submitted, never accepted. But for some strange reason, and we have no explanation, Face Punch has never said anything about this, Halloween 2020, this randomly becomes available in weapon barrels. There is no subscriber count for the skin. We have no idea how many of these actually exist. But if you consider the amount of people constantly opening weapon barrels, you'd assume there's probably quite a decent amount of them available. All right, take that into consideration. So it's been 6 years now almost, but this has been available in weapon barrels. You'd assume there's probably a decent amount, but suddenly it's 10 times the value. Manipulators will be a group of people. They'll look around on all the third-party sites. They'll look at the Steam market, And if they realise they can manipulate a skin, usually older skins with not that much quantity, for example, they'll make a move, they'll jump in, they'll grab as much stock as they can, and then they'll inflate the value of the skin. So you see these barders here? It's not other people, it's the manipulators. They are putting down those barders to make it look as if this is actually worth that price. And you know what? They probably will be purchasing it as well amongst each other. You're going to sit there and say, why would they do that? Because third-party sites and gambling sites, they don't track prices properly, or rather, they don't realise what's going on. What they'll do is they'll see the sales history, either from third-party sites that are selling the skins as well, or the Steam market by default. Now, you're going to sit there and say, oh, but surely they'll just look at the third-party sales. Funny that. Did you not hear me? I told you. They like to look around and grab all the stock from the third-party sites as well. SCM's fixed now. Good. Let's go over to here. You can always search for skins on SCM, for example, and if you just look at the top banner, so if I could go to its specific page, like so, look here. There's only one listing on CS Deals. Now you're going to sit there and say, oh, but Hedge, you said there's not that many. No, there's quite a decent amount, but what's happened is the manipulators have made their move and they bought out all the stock. And that one listing right there, wouldn't surprise me if it's one of the manipulators. So that's all available. That's all they have available, right? That's all they have available. All they have to do now is to pretend, or rather keep up the facade for at least a month or two, and then most third-party sites would assume this is worth that price. And then what they'll do is they'll stop supporting it, they'll trade all their stock over, swap them out for like some big grins. Maybe the other third-party sites have like knives from Counter-Strike they can also trade for and whatnot. Basically, they'll trade it for genuine, valuable items. And when they stop supporting it, down in price. Now, if you need to see a proper example of this, let me go ahead and remind you of Wasteland Hatchet. So over to here, Wasteland Hatchet. This is a perfect example because you can clearly see that they held it up for a while and then they just stopped supporting it. So at first glance, let's just get a quick look at this. As you'll see, oh, it's got the barders there. Looks all right. Well, to be honest with you, this has been manipulated for quite some time. Some of the barders here kind of look like it's legit. But I need to show you the sales history. Look how weird and strange this is. So, yeah, you think, yeah, what's weird about that? No, look at this. What? Why is it looking like that? Why is it so straight? I told you, they need to keep up the facade for a while, at least maybe a couple months or so. Then they can unload all the stock on unknowing and not very clever third-party sites. That doesn't look normal, does it? No. And I don't want to say I'm mean or anything. Nobody cares about this skin. This is actually part of a collection, so let's go ahead and remind you of the Wasteland collection. Does it look like it's in demand to you? Let's, which one is it? Is it this one? I believe it's... Yeah, go on, it's this one, I think. Yes, all right, there you go. Does that look in demand to you? Does that look like everyone's clamouring to get this collection? Well, there you go. That didn't sell a ridiculous amount. The manipulators jumped in, grabbed as much stock as they could, and they pumped up the value. And they just had to keep that high price up for a while, and then there you go, done. So... cool, that went on for a bit, but yes, I'm starting to notice other pumps and other things starting to take place. Manipulators, they're going around, they're buying out stocks of certain skins themselves as well. They like to dip their toe, they like to buy out a bunch of stock, leave it for a bit. If they see like other people dumping their own stock or whatnot, they'll probably avoid it. If they think they can grab all the stock from other third-party sites, you get the idea. So, yeah. Don't get involved, don't buy a manipulated skin, do not get involved. But if you happen to own one, and yes, I've had a couple people message me recently about the demonic pistol. Yeah, just sell. Grab that wallet. Get all the Steam funds and wait it out for a brand new Steam machine. Or a Steam controller. Ah. I got mine. It's just over there. Right, cool. So, yes. Lots of wacky things going on already. But is it too much too quickly? Yeah, we'll see how it goes, right? So as of now, if you're going to sit there and say, Hedge, should I sell now? I'll sit here and say, look, listen, if you're happy with the profit that you could potentially get with all your Rust skins, go on then. It's up to you. I dipped my toe. I just want to see how easy it was. It was pretty easy. And I've been looking around at certain other skins I have. Items as well. To my surprise, the Deluxe Christmas lights have been completely bought out. And I sold 3 last night. I was like, what's going on? Why is this suddenly going up in price? Like, why would people suddenly care about this now? It's May. It's not Christmas time. as you might notice, it slowly goes up, and then Christmas time, so Christmas, hey, and it goes back down again. So why is it all of a sudden it's gone up so much so quickly now? Weird things are going on, and yes, I sold free last night, and it was pretty easy to do. I don't know what's going on in that regard. Let me also go point out. God, have you seen the transparent aim sight SAPs, for example? Heat Seeker SAP. Nobody really cared about this for quite some time. Let me just quickly go ahead and showcase this to you, and I'll read the chat again. Sorry, chat. I know I've gone on some tangents, but I just want to keep showing examples. One straggler. This is actually worth around $7, as you'll notice. Cool. But if I could just quickly go show its sales history, nobody seemed to care or notice it initially. Like, it comes out, and yeah, I must remind you, it came out during December 2025, so about half a year ago. And it does quite alright during post-Christmas, doesn't really do much, but recently, as we've entered April time, it's been going up. I'm not sure if a YouTuber might have showcased it and utilised it and made people aware of it. That could have happened. But it's not just that, it's also the Bee SAP. So if I could switch over to here, Bee SAP's also been going up in price a lot. And this is the more, like, stranger one, because a lot of people really did not care for this skin. Yes, it also happens to have a transparent aim sight, exactly like the Heat Seeker SAP. But yeah, someone's definitely brought awareness to this. Or people just thought, you know what, I'm aware that these are the only transparent aim sight SAPs that are in the game. Well, I guess I'll buy them out. And then when people realise later on, then I'm the one who makes all the profit. But look at it. Like, this was out for a long time. Nobody cared around December. This was selling for around at just a little bit less than $1.50 half a year ago. Now it's like 5 times the price. What? So yeah, right. So now we'll look at the chat. The HellCore Thompson. Talking of, someone buys a boat door, my inventory goes nuts for a few hours. Owning large quantities makes figures. Yeah. Good night. Sazabay didn't want to stick around whilst I was yapping. He said, I'll just watch the video tomorrow. I'll be fine. So, alright, cool. So, yeah, start looking at your inventory. If you're happy with the profit, take the profit. Sell reasonably. As you might notice, I didn't grab 20 skins. I didn't unload big fat stacks of quantity. No, I just grabbed 4, 3, 5. Just wanted to see how quick it was. It was fairly quick. That sold it very reasonably. I made, let's see here. I made about $130 in a single day, and it wasn't really that much effort. Now, in terms of how much profit did you make per skin, I think I've made about at least 50% more. If anything, with the Revolver there, I think that's double. Let's just say I've made some pretty sweet profit. And I only considered those skins because I have 200 each. Or rather, I did. I don't anymore. But yeah, you get the point. You understand. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's nice. Look at your inventory. Start making some considerations. Maybe we do have a dip during June. But let me remind you, after June, you saw it with the Heat Seeker MP5, went back up again. So the peaks usually are July and August. Maybe it happens early this year. Maybe it happens later. We'll see. But inevitably, there will be the autumn-fall seasonal dip. October time, I'm sorry to say, but you want to make sure you get your sales in before it's too late. But start looking around at other skins. Do I want to sell my transparent wooden double doors now, or do I hold on to them for a little bit longer? Will we ever see another white backpack, like Thunder Gold backpack? I mean, we did get the Twitch drops, but I'm talking about a marketable skin. This has been greatly appreciating the prices as of recent. Let me just go over to here again. I've got a show example. Right now, this is about $6+. Let's just quickly confirm that. As you'll see, yep, $6.25. And if I could just show you sales history, that has just been on the up. Ever since March, up. It's so weird how much that went up by. But I'm here to talk, point it out to you. So go look at your inventory. You get the idea. And you know what? I want to talk about one extra thing, and I think I'll wrap up the video. Naval Camo Collection. There's a weird situation that happened here. February 4 swipe, Naval updates released. We see the hoodie and pants. And you know what? That's cool. Some blue clothing. We could have a potential collection. We don't really have that many blue collections in general. You might sit there and say, what about Ultramarine? What about Azul? And there's probably another one. Skullkiller, yep. They're dark blue. This is a lighter blue. And this isn't shiny. It refers to itself as camouflage, but it's not really camouflage. What if I sit in the water? Have fun with that then. Anyway, so basically, this sold a lot initially. And we were thinking, oh, has that sold a little bit too much? And evidently, yes. This sold the most in comparison to all the other pieces you see here. But weirdly, the Tier 2 comes out, it doesn't sell as much, and we do eventually see Tier 3 in boots and gloves. Why is this still down in price quite badly when it didn't sell the most? What's gone wrong? Well, it came out during March, the Easter dip. So you might notice, if I were to look at this hoodie right now, you see this only has about 48 listings. Yep. And then I'll look at the Tier 3 here. Tier 3, by the way, sold the least amongst the main groups here. This only has about 55 listings. But because the Tier 2 came out during the Easter dip, when everybody was like miserable and just throwing tons of stock in the Steam market and whatnot, to this day, right now, we still have tons of listings that were never removed. So if you're wondering what on earth is going on, I think I figured it out. It's because during the bad times, people dumped stock and it just never really disappeared. I still have the faith that this will improve. I said it with the old Pirate Revolver, and that eventually got to that point. I still have the faith that this collection will be doing nicely. I still believe that kilt will still work out nicely. But yeah, it's still got all that stock. Someone listed 66 over $3.50. Anyway, so yeah, I think I figured out that mystery, and I will point out, after this has been accepted, we have seen word that we're probably going to see some tactical gloves and a jacket at some point in the future as well. Skin Creator refers to it right here. So that's something to look forward to. Right then, so I hope I brought awareness to all of you. And yeah, servers no longer show ping and rust, hold. Yeah, hold. You can hold if you want to. You can sell if you want to. It's up to you. Profit is profit. With profit, I have more to work with to start investing into other skins. I've had to make a lot of decisions like that in the past. But you know what? I got to this point, and I'm happy. Are you? Well, you might be sitting there like, you know, this. Yeah, so. You know what? I'm going to reveal something to you. You probably might have noticed it by now. But if you want to be happy, say hello to potentially the most colourful, blinding electric furnace we'll probably see ever. Do you reckon that might be accepted? So how much do you reckon that might sell? We'll see. So lots of fun, interesting things on the horizon. Just got to endure it. So will June be all right? Or will it be problematic? If it's problematic, I'll make another video. I'll be like, okay, it's problematic. Let's just endure the month. And then after this, summer peaks afterwards. We should be good. All right, cool. So that's it. That's a wrap then. So feel free to comment below your thoughts of how things are currently panning out. Don't forget to watch the 48-hour analysis tomorrow. I will be talking about like expected sales and all this. Like this might be selling a lot. This might be selling hardly anything. Definitely makes things a lot more appealing then, or interesting. Cool. And yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. Sing bye.